We believe that anyone can become the hero of their own journey. Here at Hero's Journey, we'll share stories of overcoming challenges and courage to inspire you to live your personal legend. In our first channel content, we decided to share 10 remarkable and unseen episodes that you might not have heard about the life of the football star, CR7. And I guarantee you, the last event will make you cry and change your opinion about him. That's if you already don't like this glorious monster.
Fact number 1.
Did you know that Cristiano Ronaldo was almost aborted and football would have lost one of the greatest legends of all time? Cristiano's parents were very poor, and adding another child at that time would worsen the family's financial situation. In 1984, when Cristiano's mother found out about the new pregnancy, she panicked and tried to prevent the birth of her son out of fear that she wouldn't be able to support him. As she confessed in her autobiography, she first sought a doctor, who refused to perform the procedure, claiming that she was young, healthy, and had no impediment to raising another child. That's when, following a neighbor's advice, Dolores resorted to a homemade remedy, drinking warm beer and running for miles in an attempt to induce complications for the fetus. However, this unusual attempt didn't work, and all she achieved was a severe stomachache and a very competitive child. Despite this, Maria Dolores was a hardworking mother who held 2 jobs to survive and take care of everyone. Cristiano's father worked as a kitman and gardener but had a serious illness. This is the second significant event in the life of the Portuguese football star that few people know.
Fact number 2.
His father, José Aveiro, was addicted to alcohol and drank every day. Cristiano has mentioned in interviews that he barely remembers his father being sober, and this family history is the main reason why he abstains from any alcoholic beverages to this day.
But my father, they didn't see nothing.
Furthermore, Cristiano revealed with deep sadness that his father was one of the first to encourage him to start playing football, but unfortunately he passed away before being able to celebrate all his son's achievements. His father passed away from liver failure in 2005 when Cristiano was only 20 years old.
Fact number 3.
The third fact is also about alcohol problems, but this time with a happy ending. Cristiano's older brother, having spent much more time with their alcoholic father, also developed alcoholism. However, Cristiano provided all the necessary support to help his brother, Hugo Aveiro, overcome the addiction. He paid for expensive treatments since he was 16 to prevent Hugo from suffering the same fate as their father. Today, Hugo manages the CR7 Museum, located on the island of Madeira where Cristiano was born, and he claims to have been sober since 2014, thanks to a promise he made. If Cristiano won the Champions League with Real Madrid, he vowed never to touch a drop of alcohol again. Now, let me ask you, is the football cyborg a genius or not? Besides bringing joy and fantastic goals to his fans, he also saves lives. But it wasn't always like this. His adolescence was marked by a tragedy that almost took his life.
Fact number 4.
The fourth curious fact in his journey is that, before stealing the hearts of all Ronaldo fans worldwide, he was diagnosed with a problem in his own heart at the age of 15. Doctors declared that this health condition could end his career once and for all. However, the football gods did not allow the worst to happen, and after delicate surgery, the doctors healed his heart, and he never stopped playing. Like never. Ever. Never ever. Fact number 5. To ease the tension a bit, the fifth fact is quite funny, but it's still another battle won by the forward. Cristiano Ronaldo faced teasing since childhood for various reasons. Believe it or not, in every club he played, coaches said he was still too skinny and needed to strengthen his physique. He wasn't this muscle machine that he is today. During this time, the player suffered emotionally when saying goodbye to his family and friends to train in the Sporting Club Youth Academy. There, he was the subject of jokes and insults due to his strange accent.
eu sou o melhor. Posso não ser, mas na minha cabeça, eu sou o melhor.
In fact, these taunts made Cristiano so angry that one day he even threw a chair at his teacher for mocking his pronunciation. And if you think the bullying stopped there, you're mistaken. The sixth curious fact is precisely about that.
Fact number 6.
Even after fame and several titles at the beginning of his explosive career, Cristiano still faced judgments at Manchester United, according to Rio Ferdinand's statements in his book. He describes how other players laughed and mocked his odd clothes and somewhat metrosexual style. Ferdinand reveals in interviews that Cristiano felt very excluded by his own teammates. Now, let's get into the final stretch of the most unusual facts in Ronaldo's career.
Fact number 7.
In the 7th position, we chose the friendly match between Sporting and Manchester United, which was a turning point in the Portuguese's life. Alex Ferguson, the United coach, was so impressed with Cristiano Ronaldo's skills that he immediately asked the team's executives to buy him, even at the age of 17. Moreover, a curiosity in this transfer window is that, surprisingly, the most expensive transaction at that time was made by Manchester United itself when they spent a fortune to sign the Brazilian World Cup champion Kleberson, while Cristiano was just a young promise. Years later, a new negotiation shook the football world, and this is the 8th curious fact in the player's career.
Fact number 8.
After the golden years at Manchester and several goal-scoring titles, Cristiano's biggest dream was to play for Real Madrid. Alex Ferguson hesitated for a while because he obviously didn't want to lose his star player. However, the connection built between them over the years was so deep and honest, like that of a father to a son, that it softened the coach's heart, and he finally allowed his number 7 to move on and fulfill his dream of playing for the Merengues in 2009. Imagine if Sir Alex hadn't allowed the transfer. Would the history of football be completely different?
Amor mío, eres el ser que amo sin fin.
Fact number 9.
The penultimate unusual fact in the Portuguese's career is something extraordinary, or rather, transcendent. Cristiano Ronaldo became so popular worldwide with a legion of fans that he received an homage to name a galaxy after him. That's right, a galaxy discovered in 2015 was named by members of the University of California, along with the universities of Riverside, Geneva, and Lisbon, as Redshift 7 Galaxy, or simply CR7 Galaxy. Tell me, honoring great sports figures by naming stadiums, arenas, or training centers is rare, but it happens. Now, a galaxy, that's awesome. Isn't this dude a beast?
Fact number 10.
Finally, the 10th and last unusual fact in Cristiano Ronaldo's life is an old practice of the player that was recently discovered by the press and made many haters feel moved and apologize for ever calling him arrogant. Cristiano has been actively involved in social causes and charities since an early age, often donating all his individually earned awards to schools and hospitals. He has also fully paid for various surgeries for fans in critical health conditions. But have you noticed that he doesn't have tattoos? The truth that no one tells is that he doesn't get tattoos because it would prevent him from donating blood for a period of 1 year, and this has become a frequent habit in his life. After all, would you put a sticker on a Ferrari? Incredible, isn't it? Now I want to hear from you. Comment below on which of these 10 curiosities caught your attention the most, or feel free to share something we may have missed on this list. And if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to receive the next video in the hero's journey.